A mum is facing jail after she falsely accused 10 different men of rape in a wicked pack of lies. Some of the accused men spent hours in police custody, and others spent months on bail or being released under investigation after Stacy Sharples made the false allegations to police. Some of the accused men had consensual sex with her, while others had no sexual contact whatsoever. One of the men bumped into Sharples in the street after he was cleared, and she ran into a nearby chippy and called 999, claiming the man was threatening to kill her, Bolton Crown Court was told. When he made a comment that police were actually investigating her, Sharples said, "They're not pressing charges. I've got away with it yet again." But she now faces a prison sentence after admitting charges of perverting the course of justice. Her false allegations cost the public purse about £120,000, the court was told. She initially faced 19 counts of the charge, but ultimately only 10 proceeded to court. Judge Nicholas Clark KC said that because Sharples had admitted a sufficient number of counts to reflect the overall criminality, it would not have been in the public interest to pursue more. 4 of Sharples' victims were in court for the sentencing hearing. The judge said, "I want to make it clear to anybody that reads anything about their names anywhere that these men's lives have been blighted by unfortunate allegations which have been made involving some sort of sexual offending, none of which are true at all." Only belatedly by her pleas has she now acknowledged that it was all a wicked pack of lies. Her lawyer said that he could offer no satisfactory explanation for her criminality, but said there had been concerns about her mental health and intellect for a significant period. Sharples, from Farnworth, Bolton, will be sentenced on Wednesday, the 11th of March. Mark Monaghan, prosecuting, told the court that Sharples' first victim was Caleb Davies. He had been messaging Sharples for a few days after being put in touch by a friend. Sharples went to Mr. Davies' friend's house on Boxing Day in 2013, where other people were also there. Mr. Davies said Sharples was quiet and spent most of the time looking at her phone. She left after about an hour without saying anything, the court heard. Sharples then called her brother, falsely claiming to be in danger. She told her brother and father that Mr. Davies and other men had forced her to perform a sex act on him. She further falsely claimed to have been attacked by 9 men and threatened with a knife. Mr. Monaghan said her claims were a complete fabrication and that he'd had no sexual contact with her at all. Mr. Davies was arrested and interviewed. Sharples refused to attend an appointment at a assault referral center. The victim was not charged, but spent 18 months on bail. Police were concerned about inconsistencies in her claims. A second victim, James Blundell, met up with Sharples after they had met via the dating website Plenty of Fish. She invited him to a hostel where she was living in Burnage on the 4th of February 2018. He said that they had consensual sex, but decided to leave after she made comments which made him feel uneasy. Mr. Blundell told her that he was going for a cigarette, but he left. She messaged him, asking why he had left and why he was not responding. Sharples then told hostel staff that someone had done something to her, which she did not want. They phoned the police and handed her the phone, and she claimed that she had been raped. Mr. Blundell was arrested and spent 17 hours in police custody before being interviewed. He was released under investigation for 6 months. Months later, a third victim, Astron Inman, met Sharples via Facebook after she randomly added him. They met on the 11th of August, 2018, after Sharples sent him a topless picture of herself and said she wanted to join him in the shower. He picked her up in his car. They had consensual sex, and later he dropped her off at home. There, she called the police and claimed that her partner had f***ed her, but that she didn't know his surname or where the happened. She gave the police an account of a violent and forceful. She also claimed that Mr. Inman had added her on Facebook. Mr. Inman was arrested and spent 8 hours in police custody awaiting an interview. He provided his Facebook messages and police discovered the true picture. Sharples contacted Andrew Dearborn on Plenty of Fish in February 2019. They had consensual and after, Sharples asked him if they were now a couple. When they parted ways, Mr. Dearden was bombarded with messages from her, asking where he was, what he was doing, and if he loved her. She also asked to meet again. They met at a cash generator shop near her home to help her sell a television. When she went inside, she called the police and alleged that she'd been the night before. Police arrived and arrested him there. He spent 8.5 hours in police custody before being interviewed. He provided police with the messages Sharples had sent. She refused to attend an appointment for an interview with police. Reese Lockett and Connor Austin were also victims of Sharples. Mr. Lockett met her through Plenty of Fish in late 2018. Mr. Monaghan said there was some sexual contact between the pair, but that he did not pursue it further because he thought she was weird. Sharples asked to meet him again in April 2019. She said she would be with a friend, and Mr. Lockett asked his cousin Mr. Austin if he also wanted to attend the meet. They went for a walk at a reservoir, but Mr. Lockett had changed his mind about being interested in Sharples. After, Mr. Lockett declined to drive Sharples home, but said he'd drop her off nearby. Mr. Monaghan said Sharples was annoyed and told him, "Watch what happens now." She dialed 999 and accused both men of Mr. Lockett spent 3 hours in police custody and Mr. Austin 2.5 hours. Mr. Lockett bumped into Sharples in the street a couple of months later. They had a row, and Sharples ran into a chip shop and called 999, claiming, "There is a guy I got done for a while ago threatening to kill me." Mr. Lockett made a comment about the police taking an interest in her. She said, "I've been let go. They're not pressing charges. I've got away with it. Yet again." Anthony Green received multiple messages from Sharples before they met at his flat in June 2019. They engaged in sexual contact but did not actually have sex until she asked him to stop, and he did. All of this was done consensually, said Mr. Monaghan. Mr. Green offered to get her a taxi, which he did, and she left. Mr. Green then received a text saying he'd hurt her, bitten and strangled her. None of that was true, Mr. Monaghan said. She later called police to say that she'd been sexually attacked and that Mr. Green had strangled and bitten her before penetrating her. She told police she couldn't get him off her and that he wouldn't let her leave. Mr. Green was arrested in 2019 and spent 12 hours in custody. The defendant then changed her allegation, saying he hadn't done much of what she'd claimed. The case was dropped against him in 2019. Two further victims of Sharples were Andrew Jackson and Jack Byrne. She made a single false allegation about them both. They lived together at the time in a house, and in August 2019 received a Facebook message from Sharples saying she wanted something to do, along with a friend of hers. The two men invited the defendant and her pal to their house, and the women arrived with 2 bottles of vodka. They spent the next few hours drinking and taking some drugs. There was no sexual contact, Mr. Monaghan said. Sharples' facial piercing was hurting and started to bleed towards the end of the evening, and she asked her dad to come and collect her. She then sent messages to Mr. Byrne, who said, "She was pestering me on Facebook and texting me loads all night." Eventually, Mr. Byrne said, "Will you f*** off? Don't ever ring me at 8 o'clock in the morning again." Mr. Monaghan said, "It might not have been the kindest response, but it does not in any way justify calling the police." Sharples alleged that the two men got her drunk to the point she didn't know what was happening, pinned her down, threatened her, and sexually assaulted her by penetrating her. She claimed the two men said they would attack her and called her a sket and a bitch. Sharples claimed they punched her, but there were no bruises to her face. Both men denied any rape. Sharples refused to be medically examined, and tests on her underwear found no presence of semen. Sharples' final victim was Lee Dixon, who met her through the dating app Badoo. They exchanged flirty messages 4 days after Sharples had called the police on Mr. Byrne and Mr. Jackson. Mr. Dixon invited her to his home on the 17th of August 2019. Mr. Monaghan said that Sharples suggested they go upstairs and made it clear she wanted sexual contact. They had consensual sex, which was proved by a video recording which was taken, prosecutors said. More sexual messages were exchanged that day. Mr. Monaghan said, Mr. Dickinson's first knowledge of any complaint was later that day when he was told the defendant had contacted police and accused him of rape. Sharples deleted her side of their WhatsApp chat, but the messages showed that they had been discussing how they'd enjoyed their sexual encounter. In his victim impact statement, Mr. Dickinson said his experience with the defendant and her false claims led him to have a mental breakdown. After Sharples was arrested, she told police, "You need to look into my mental health. That's all I need to say. You'll never understand. I had a upbringing." She also said she had emotionally unstable personality disorder. She added, "I am a ticking time bomb. You flip me off and I'll flip back." Mr. Monaghan said it was a conservative estimate that the defendant had cost the police, criminal justice, and sexual assault health services £120,000 as a result of her false allegations due to the investigations they instigated and all of the police, legal, and medical time they required. One victim, in an impact statement, told of how he'd moved to Sweden to re-evaluate my life, and I wasn't part of my children's life for a few years. He said he now struggles to approach women, adding, "I have a lot of hate for that girl. I hope she gets what she deserves. It makes me sick to my core." A number of men said in their victim impact statements that they were prevented from seeing their children after the allegations, were excommunicated from their families and friends, struggled to form any romantic relationships, and have been left with PTSD. One man said the false allegations about him took him to such a dark place he thought about ending his life. Another called the defendant a wolf. Judge Clark said, "I take the view that she was a sexual predator. This has taken resources away from genuine crime and genuine victims." Defending Sharples, Hunter Gray said the victims in the case would be questioning why the defendants had made the false allegations. Mr. Gray said, "In reality, there is no satisfactory explanation that can be given. It's not just the harm to these victims, but genuine victims of are damaged, as is the wider administration of the criminal justice system." He said of the defendant, "It is correct that there have been concerns about her mental health and intellect for a significant period of time." Mr. Gray said that Sharples still struggles to accept full responsibility, but has shown some remorse and some insight. He conceded that a custodial sentence was inevitable in her case. Sharples of Lucas Road, Farnworth, pleaded guilty to 10 counts of perverting the course of justice. She was remanded in custody.